In a recent episode of the American radio journal, Jonathan Williams, a prominent voice for fiscal conservatism, highlighted the stark differences in economic policies across the United States and the implications for state-level growth. As debates in Washington, D.C. intensify over extending the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, Williams emphasizes the need to reassess the federal government's role in shaping economic outcomes for Americans. He asserts that fiscal discipline and tax relief at the state level can lead to robust economic growth, contrasting sharply with states that resort to tax increases and excessive spending. Williams pointed to Maryland as a cautionary tale. Faced with a $3 billion deficit, Governor Wes Moore has proposed significant tax hikes, including raising the top income tax rate to nearly 9.7%, which would be among the highest in the nation. Williams described this approach as counterproductive, warning that such measures could drive businesses and taxpayers out of the state. Businesses and workers don't wait around to be fleeced, they leave, Williams stated, noting that Maryland's competitiveness is at risk as its budget gap widens. The situation is similarly dire in Washington state, which is grappling with a projected $16 billion shortfall. The implementation of a capital gains tax in 2022 has backfired, driving wealth out of the state as high-profile residents like Jeff Bezos relocate to tax-friendly environments. Williams recounted how Washington once managed economic downturns without tax hikes, demonstrating a stark contrast to the current administration's strategies that he views as detrimental. Conversely, Williams highlighted states like Louisiana that are embracing fiscal reforms. In a bold move, Louisiana eliminated its progressive income tax in favor of a flat 3% rate, joining a growing movement among states recognizing that lower taxes foster economic growth. He noted that more than half of states have significantly reduced personal income taxes since 2021, a trend that he believes will continue as governors seek to bolster their state's economic competitiveness. As Williams articulates, the evidence is clear. States that prioritize tax cuts over hikes are not only retaining residents but also attracting new talent and investment. Lower taxes spark growth, not grievance, he asserted, reinforcing the idea that economic incentives drive behavior. This pattern of success in tax-cutting states serves as a powerful lesson for policymakers in Washington, D.C., where discussions about extending previous tax cuts take center stage. The implications of these state-level economic strategies are profound. Williams warns that states like Maryland and Illinois, which opt for tax increases, are witnessing a decline in economic vitality as residents seek more favorable conditions elsewhere. In contrast, states that cut taxes are experiencing growth and in-migration, suggesting a clear correlation between fiscal policy and economic health. As the debate over tax reform continues, Williams urges a reconsideration of current strategies that prioritize short-term fiscal gains through increased taxation. He calls for a more sustainable approach that favors long-term growth through reduced tax burdens. The outcomes of these policies will not only shape state economies but also set a precedent for the federal government's approach to taxation and economic management in the years to come. Looking forward, the ongoing discourse around tax policies will undoubtedly influence the trajectory of economic growth across the nation, as states experiment with varying tax structures. The results will provide critical insights into the most effective strategies for fostering economic prosperity. The stakes are high, and the choices made today could define the economic landscape for generations to come. In a rapidly evolving political landscape, the urgency for a people-centered policy approach has never been more pronounced. As Mary Beth Maxwell articulates in her recent piece for Democracy Journal, the distance between policymakers and the communities they serve has widened alarmingly, particularly in the wake of economic challenges that many citizens face daily. This disconnect is not merely a communication issue, it is a fundamental misalignment of priorities that threatens the efficacy of governance and the well-being of the populace. Throughout a season of grassroots campaigning, Maxwell encountered firsthand the frustrations of individuals grappling with economic precarity. From a trailer park in Pennsylvania to low-income housing in Milwaukee, the conversations revealed a stark reality: many people feel unheard and disillusioned. How could this be, she reflects after 4 years of a progressive administration ostensibly focused on economic uplift? The answer lies in a failure to engage meaningfully with the lived experiences of everyday Americans whose voices have often been drowned out by expert analysis and economic indicators. Maxwell posits that the key to effective policymaking lies in recognizing and valuing these lived experiences as critical data points in the policy development process. We must reorganize how we make policy by treating lived experience as the necessary data and expertise, she insists. This shift necessitates a departure from the traditional top-down approach wherein experts presume to know what is best for communities. Instead, policymakers must actively listen to the needs and concerns of the people they represent. Forging partnerships that prioritize collaboration over unilateral decision-making. A pivotal element of this people-centered policy framework is the integration of grassroots organizing into the policymaking process. Maxwell advocates for a model where organizers and policymakers work in tandem, engaging communities at the outset to identify pain points and co-design solutions. Organizing does not just tell people what to do but asks, she emphasizes, highlighting the importance of dialogue and shared ownership in driving effective policy outcomes. The success of initiatives like the Fight for $15 serves as a testament to this approach, showcasing how grassroots movements can inspire significant policy changes that directly address workers' needs. Moreover, Maxwell underscores the importance of creating an environment in which community voices are not only heard but are instrumental in shaping policy design and implementation. She highlights the need for policymakers to engage in early and ongoing dialogue with community members, utilizing innovative tools and platforms to gather insights and feedback. We must learn from experiments and innovations in federal, state, and local policy, she notes, advocating for a reflective and adaptive approach to governance that draws on successful case studies and lessons learned. As the Biden administration navigates its legislative priorities, the call for labor law reform and the rebuilding of unions emerges as a critical area of focus. By prioritizing people's power and agency, policymakers can work towards creating an economy that serves all citizens, rather than a select few. This commitment to equity not only strengthens the fabric of democracy but also fosters a sense of trust and engagement among the electorate. Looking ahead, the challenge remains for policymakers, advocacy groups, and think tanks to come together in a spirit of collaboration, crafting a cohesive strategy that champions the voices of those most affected by policy decisions. As Maxwell aptly concludes, no single organization or proposal can achieve this alone. It will require a concerted effort, a radical collaboration, to ensure that the future of policymaking is rooted in the experiences and aspirations of the people it is meant to serve. As the political landscape continues to shift, the promise of a truly people-centered policy approach offers a hopeful pathway toward a more equitable and just society, nestled within the majestic Pyrenees. Val d'Aran emerges as an adventure playground that beckons nature enthusiasts and thrill-seekers alike. This breathtaking region in northwest Catalonia, where the rugged mountains meet rich Celtic heritage, offers a plethora of outdoor activities year-round. From the snow-draped peaks that attract winter sports aficionados to verdant meadows alive with wildflowers in summer, Val d'Aran is a captivating destination that promises both adrenaline-pumping experiences and serene moments of cultural exploration. As winter descends upon Val d'Aran, the spotlight shines on the renowned ski resort of Baqueira Baray. With over 100 miles of diverse slopes, this resort caters to skiers and snowboarders of all skill levels. Freeride enthusiasts revel in the reliable powder conditions bolstered by the Atlantic climate, while freestyle riders can hone their skills at the Ara Marmota Snowpark. Beyond skiing, the winter landscape invites exploration through snowshoeing, tobogganing, and even husky-driven sleigh rides. Winter in Val d'Aran transforms into a wonderland where adventure is just a snowball's throw away, said local guide Javier Perez, emphasizing the region's diverse offerings during the colder months. As the snow melts and spring ushers in a new season, Val d'Aran reveals a different kind of majesty. Summer opens up opportunities for hiking, mountain biking, and wildlife spotting in the alternate Pyrénées Natural Park and Aiguestorts and Estany de Saint-Maurice National Park. Here visitors can traverse lush trails adorned with streams and waterfalls while keeping an eye out for chamois marmots and the occasional brown bear. For those craving an adrenaline rush, the Puy de Unha Via Ferrata presents a thrilling challenge featuring Tibetan bridges and vertical ladders suspended over sheer rock faces. The Via Ferrata is perfect for families and beginners, allowing everyone to experience the thrill of mountaineering, noted certified mountain guide Laura Ruiz. Exploring Val d'Aran also means immersing oneself in its rich cultural tapestry. The region is dotted with picturesque villages, each steeped in centuries-old traditions. Bagerg, perched at an elevation of 4,656 feet, is particularly enchanting with its cobbled streets and vibrant flower boxes. Visitors can indulge in local delicacies such as artisanal Aranese cheese crafted from the milk of Lida's cows. Guided tours offer insights into the valley's history, while cycling or driving through the stunning landscapes unveils architectural marvels like the Romanesque Gothic church of Santa Maria de Artes. Val d'Aran is not just about adventure, it's also a journey through time showcasing our unique heritage, remarked local historian Marta Soler. Culinary experiences in Val d'Aran further enrich any visit, as the region has recently gained recognition as one of Spain's most exciting food scenes, contributing to Catalonia's title as Europe's first world region of gastronomy in 2025. Local menus boast seasonal highlights from game meat and foraged mushrooms to signature dishes like Olja Aranesa, a hearty soup perfect for warming up after a day on the slopes. Pinxo's nights in Vielha offer a fun and casual dining experience where visitors can enjoy small bites paired with craft beers, while restaurants like Tawerna Deth Gascon and El Portalet elevate traditional dining with modern twists. For travelers eager to discover Val d'Aran, access is convenient with direct flights from London to Toulouse-Blagnac or Barcelona, followed by bus connections to Vielha. Alternatively, a scenic Eurostar train journey to Paris leads to high-speed rail options into the heart of the Pyrenees. Val d'Aran is easily accessible and offers a unique blend of adventure culture and cuisine that is sure to captivate visitors, said tourism officer Clara Montfort. As Val d'Aran continues to emerge as a favored destination for both adventure and cultural immersion, the future looks bright for this stunning region. With ongoing efforts to promote sustainable tourism and protect its natural landscapes, Val d'Aran stands poised to enchant generations of travelers seeking both adrenaline and authenticity in the heart of the Pyrenees. In a stark reflection of current agricultural challenges, egg prices in the United States surged by over 10% from January to February 2025. Driven primarily by a resurgence of bird flu that continues to decimate poultry supplies nationwide. The Consumer Price Index (CPI) reported a striking 10.4% increase in egg prices month-over-month, with a staggering 58.8% rise year-over-year, highlighting the ongoing volatility in the market. This sharp escalation has prompted grocery chains to impose purchase limits on eggs as consumers grapple with the ramifications of soaring food costs amid a broader backdrop of inflation. According to the CPI, while overall consumer prices rose by a modest 2.8% compared to last year, the food index saw a mere 0.2% increase in February. The rise in egg prices stands in stark contrast to these figures, underscoring a unique crisis within the poultry sector. Reports from the U.S. Department of Agriculture (USDA) further illuminate the crisis. In early March, it was revealed that approximately 30.3 million birds had been culled due to bird flu outbreaks across 9 states, significantly impacting both conventional and cage-free egg supplies. As the situation escalates, political and economic scrutiny has intensified. On March 7, the Justice Department launched an investigation into the rising egg prices, probing whether producers may be engaging in price manipulation by withholding supplies. Amidst this unfolding crisis, notable figures have weighed in. Elon Musk, a prominent ally of former President Donald Trump, controversially suggested that the Biden administration's policies contributed to the price hike, citing the culling of approximately 150 million egg-laying hens. This assertion, while provocative, overlooks the fact that these culling practices are consistent with USDA policies aimed at controlling disease spread and safeguarding remaining poultry stocks. In response to the crisis, USDA Secretary Tom Vilsack announced a $1 billion investment aimed at bolstering biosecurity measures among poultry producers, alongside financial relief for farmers impacted by the bird flu. This initiative includes $400 million earmarked for direct aid to farmers and $100 million allocated for research into vaccines and therapeutics for laying chickens. Vilsack expressed cautious optimism, stating that while the measures won't erase the problem overnight, they are expected to stabilize the egg market within the next 3 to 6 months. The bird flu itself is a complex issue, with the highly pathogenic avian influenza HPAI first detected in U.S. poultry stocks in early 2022. Since then, it has led to widespread outbreaks, with the CDC reporting over 1,464 incidents across the country. The current strain H5N9, recently identified in California, has resulted in significant poultry losses and raised concerns regarding future outbreaks. While the disease primarily affects birds, it poses a risk to humans through close contact with infected animals. As consumers brace for further fluctuations in egg prices, grocery retailers have begun implementing purchase limits to manage demand. Trader Joe's, Walmart, and other chains have initiated restrictions allowing customers to purchase only a limited number of cartons at a time. These measures reflect an attempt to ensure equitable access to eggs amid the supply crunch. Looking ahead, the next Consumer Price Index report, scheduled for release on April 10, will provide further insights into the evolving situation and whether egg prices will continue to rise or stabilize. As the USDA and industry stakeholders work to address the immediate challenges, the long-term implications of the ongoing bird flu crisis remain uncertain, with the agricultural sector keenly aware of the need for enhanced biosecurity and sustainable practices to prevent future outbreaks. The heightened focus on poultry health and consumer food prices underscores the interconnectedness of public health, agricultural stability, and economic resilience in contemporary society. Sam Bankman-Fried, the co-founder and former CEO of the collapsed cryptocurrency exchange FTX, continues to make headlines even while serving a 25-year prison sentence. His recent media appearances, including interviews with prominent figures like Tucker Carlson, have sparked significant public interest and raised questions about how he is orchestrating such a media blitz from behind bars. Currently incarcerated on the 4th floor of Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, Bankman-Fried resides in a section designated for high-profile inmates. His recent interactions with the media have drawn scrutiny due to the prison's regulations, which typically require approval for any media interviews. However, sources close to the situation indicate that Bankman-Fried may have circumvented these rules by classifying his video session with Carlson as a legal consultation. He probably called it a legal visit. They allowed him to use the system for an unmonitored video visit, suggested Larry Levine, a federal prison consultant who spoke to Fortune about the intricacies of prison policies. The fallout from this unauthorized media engagement has been swift. Following the Carlson interview, Bankman-Fried faced disciplinary action, reportedly spending a day in solitary confinement as a result of his actions. The prison's Bureau of Prisons (BOP) is expected to impose sanctions for this violation, which could range from loss of privileges to more severe penalties. As noted by Levine, he's screwed, highlighting the precarious nature of his situation given the BOP's strict enforcement of inmate conduct. Prison consultants emphasize that such consequences are not uncommon for inmates who breach established protocols, particularly those involving unauthorized contact with the public. As of now, approximately 2,700 federal inmates are under investigation for various infractions, with many facing placement in special housing units pending the outcome of their investigations. On the broader scale, Bankman-Fried's media strategy aligns with his apparent goal of seeking a pardon from President Trump, a move that his family and close associates appear to be supporting. This campaign for clemency, combined with his calculated public appearances, underscores the ongoing complexities surrounding his case and the significant public interest it continues to generate. As the crypto industry grapples with the ramifications of FTX's downfall, Bankman-Fried's actions from behind bars serve as a stark reminder of the intertwined nature of celebrity media and legal repercussions in today's digital landscape. Looking ahead, it will be intriguing to see how the BOP responds to Bankman-Fried's media engagements, and whether his attempts to sway public opinion will influence future decisions regarding his incarceration or potential pardon. The unfolding saga not only reflects the personal stakes for Bankman-Fried but also encapsulates the broader challenges facing regulators and industry leaders in the ever-evolving world of cryptocurrency. In a remarkable recognition of excellence in business journalism, the Society for Advancing Business Editing and Writing (SABU) has announced its 30th annual Best in Business Awards, unveiling a list of 144 recipients that highlights outstanding work in the field for the year 2024. The awards ceremony, set to take place during SABU's annual conference from April 3 to 5, is a celebration of the dedication and creativity displayed by journalists across a diverse array of media outlets. This year, the Best in Business Awards attracted an impressive 1,103 entries from 181 different news organizations encompassing a wide range of local, national, and international platforms, as well as specialized business publications. The evaluation process involved 150 volunteer judges who meticulously reviewed submissions, underscoring the competitive nature of the awards. Joanna Ossinger, co-chair of the Best in Business Awards and markets editor at Bloomberg News, remarked, "It's inspiring to see hundreds of great submissions to this contest, and it was as difficult as ever to pick the winners out of an extremely competitive field." Her sentiments reflect the ongoing challenges and changes faced by the journalism industry, where high-quality reporting remains crucial. Among the standout winners, Ben Cohen from the Wall Street Journal, Mike Hewlett from the Minnesota Star-Tribune, and Matthew Herper from Stat earned recognition for their work in the Best Range of Work category, showcasing the versatility and depth of their reporting across multiple platforms. The Wall Street Journal emerged as the top honoree, securing a total of 13 awards, including 9 winners and 4 honorable mentions. Bloomberg closely followed with 12 awards, while the New York Times garnered 11, further solidifying their positions as leaders in business journalism. The awards are not only a testament to individual achievements but also highlight the collective efforts of news organizations. The examination took home the General Excellence Award in the industry/topic-specific category, while Bloomberg News, Barron's and Stat were recognized in the large, medium and small categories respectively. Notably, smaller newsrooms also shone brightly, with Inside Climate News winning 3 awards and St. Louis Business Journal claiming 2. Adding to the excitement, students from the Howard Center for Investigative Journalism at Arizona State University received the Student Journalism Award for their impactful story Lithium Liabilities, which was published nationally across various platforms including PBS NewsHour and USA Today. This recognition emphasizes the growing importance of fostering journalistic talent among the next generation. Scott Wenger, another co-chair of the Best in Business Awards and senior economics editor at the World Bank, expressed his optimism, stating, "At an unnerving time in media, it's quite heartening to see many relatively new news outlets and many legacy organizations producing such first-rate content. The world urgently needs this kind of journalism, and it's always a privilege for us at SABU to honor it." The Best in Business Awards not only celebrate past achievements but also serve as a beacon of hope for the future of journalism. As the industry continues to navigate through unprecedented challenges, honoring the dedication and creativity of journalists is more important than ever. The upcoming awards ceremony promises to highlight the resilience and innovation of the business journalism community, paving the way for continued excellence in reporting. As the media landscape evolves, the impact of these awards will resonate, encouraging journalists to strive for quality and integrity in their work. In a dramatic shift, major corporations, once staunch advocates of climate action, are stepping back from their commitments in the face of a changing political landscape. This retreat comes as President Donald Trump begins his second term, a tenure marked by an aggressive rollback of environmental initiatives. The effects of this shift reverberate throughout the business community, raising questions about the future of corporate responsibility toward climate change. The America is All In coalition launched in the wake of Trump's first withdrawal from the Paris Agreement in 2017 initially united over 1,000 leaders from states, cities, businesses, and academia in a commitment to fight climate change. However, as Trump returns to power, the coalition is experiencing a crisis of confidence. Most notably, key players like Apple, Walmart, and Siemens have distanced themselves from the coalition, leaving its future uncertain. This change of heart was evident when none of the coalition's leading companies signed a December 2024 letter reaffirming their commitment to the Paris Agreement, which they had previously championed. Corporate leaders claim that their disengagement from public climate advocacy does not reflect a lack of commitment to environmental goals. Yet the prevailing sentiment among executives is one of caution. "People are pretty freaked out," said Kaya Axelson, a research fellow at the University of Oxford, noting the risks associated with vocal climate advocacy in a politically conservative environment. The apprehension stems from Trump's efforts to dismantle environmental regulations and eliminate climate programs, prompting a re-evaluation of corporate strategies. The coalition's program director Elizabeth Lean expressed a desire to continue pushing for clean energy investments despite the apparent lack of commitment from major corporations. Lean emphasized the importance of ensuring that the U.S. remains engaged in the fight for a clean energy future even as corporate giants hesitate to join the conversation. The rebranding of the coalition from "We Are Still In" to "America Is All In" under President Biden was initially seen as a revival of climate advocacy. However, as Trump's administration takes shape, the coalition's influence is waning. With over 5,000 members, including small to medium-sized businesses, the absence of major corporations like Apple and Walmart poses a significant challenge to the coalition's effectiveness. These companies possess substantial lobbying power and market influence, and their disengagement could have far-reaching implications for climate progress. While some companies continue to participate in lobbying efforts, the lack of attendance from tech giants such as Microsoft and Meta at recent events signals a broader trend of corporate reticence. This silence is particularly concerning as Trump and his administration prepare to cut subsidies essential for achieving climate goals. Experts warn that corporations altering their climate strategies to align with the Trump administration could face backlash from consumers and employees. David Victor, a professor at the University of California, San Diego, noted that companies may soon encounter pushback from their communities as they withdraw from previous commitments. The situation is further complicated for companies like Tesla, whose CEO Elon Musk has actively supported Trump's agenda, leading to protests and a stark decline in vehicle sales. The changing political climate not only affects corporate behavior but also poses significant risks to the future of scientific research and innovation in the U.S. As universities across the nation implement hiring freezes due to uncertainties surrounding federal funding, experts caution that reductions in resources could stifle advancements in critical research areas. The Trump administration's proposed cuts to National Institutes of Health funding, which supports vital medical research, could severely impact the training of future scientists and the overall health of the nation. As we navigate this turbulent landscape, the question remains whether corporations will find the courage to re-engage in climate advocacy or continue to retreat into silence. The future of climate action in America hangs in the balance, and with it, the potential for meaningful progress against one of the most pressing challenges of our time. Companies will need to articulate a clear vision for sustainability that resonates with both their stakeholders and the broader public, or risk facing the consequences of inaction as the world grapples with the realities of climate change. In a groundbreaking advancement in cancer treatment, researchers have unveiled a novel imaging technique that promises to enhance the effectiveness of targeted alpha therapy (TAT). This method, detailed in a recent publication in Nature Reviews Chemistry, utilizes cutting-edge scintillator technology to visualize the decay of actinium-225Ac225 and its daughter radionuclides in real time. Targeted alpha therapy is a promising approach in oncology, leveraging the high-energy, low-penetration nature of alpha particles to damage cancer cells while sparing surrounding healthy tissue. However, the challenge has been the difficulty in tracking these alpha particles during treatment. Given their rapid decay and the limited penetration capability in biological tissue, traditionally assessing the effectiveness of TAT involved labor-intensive post-treatment analyses using film-based systems, which often resulted in delayed insights and complicated data interpretation. The innovative technique introduced by researchers Trevor Areno and Jeffrey R. McLaughlin addresses these limitations directly. By depositing a minuscule amount of AC-225 on a specially designed scintillator plate, the researchers achieved a significant breakthrough in real-time imaging. The scintillator, made of cerium-doped gadolinium aluminum gallium garnet GaGG, emits light upon interaction with high-energy radiation, providing a clear and immediate visual representation of alpha particle trajectories. In their study, Areno and McLaughlin reported using an electron-multiplying charged coupled device EMCCD camera paired with an objective lens, resulting in enhanced signal-to-noise ratios and improved image resolution. This technological synergy allowed for a rapid capture of particle events, facilitating better tracking of alpha emissions and their subsequent effects on nearby tissues. The ability to visualize the decay chain of AC-225 in real time marks a significant advancement in our understanding of how these therapeutics interact at a cellular level, McLaughlin noted. The implications of this research extend beyond mere imaging. It could fundamentally transform the approach to cancer treatment. By enabling oncologists to monitor the precise location and impact of alpha particles during therapy, this technique may lead to more effective treatment protocols, minimizing collateral damage to healthy cells and enhancing patient outcomes. Moreover, the ability to assess radiation damage in real time could pave the way for more personalized treatments, tailoring therapies to individual patient responses and improving the overall efficacy of targeted radiotherapy. As the field of nuclear medicine continues to evolve, the integration of such advanced imaging techniques will likely play a pivotal role in optimizing treatment strategies for cancer patients worldwide. The researchers advocate for further studies to refine this technology and explore its applicability across a broader range of cancer types, indicating that the future of targeted alpha therapy could be more precise and effective than ever before. In conclusion, the real-time imaging of alpha particles represents a significant leap forward in cancer treatment technology. As researchers continue to refine these techniques, the potential for improved patient outcomes in targeted radiotherapy becomes increasingly promising, heralding a new era in the fight against cancer. In a world increasingly defined by rapid technological advancements and shifting workplace dynamics, the conversations surrounding boundaries, diversity, and meritocracy are more pressing than ever. Recently, Laura Burkhamper made headlines as she appeared on major news networks including ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, discussing the significance of setting work boundaries in today's corporate landscape. This dialogue is particularly relevant as employees grapple with the demands of a 24/7 work culture while striving for personal well-being and professional success. Burkhamper's insights resonate with a growing body of research emphasizing the importance of establishing clear boundaries at work. Many employees, especially those eager to prove their worth, often feel pressured to accept additional responsibilities at the expense of their own mental health. Overworking yourself into oblivion is not biblical, Burkhamper pointed out, referencing the need for balance as a fundamental principle rooted in Scripture. Indeed, studies reinforce this notion, showing that individuals who set healthy work-life boundaries report lower stress levels and higher job satisfaction. This urgent call for boundary setting is echoed by experts in organizational psychology. Dr. Adam Grant, a well-known figure in the field, notes, overwork leads to burnout and burnout leads to decreased effectiveness. He highlights that the most successful professionals are not those who say yes to every request, but rather those who understand their limits and prioritize effectively. The challenge lies in overcoming the fear that asserting one's boundaries may lead to negative repercussions in the workplace. Burkhamper argues that employees must recognize their value and that fostering a culture of respect for personal time can lead to more productive and engaged teams. Meanwhile, the discourse on workplace diversity continues to be contentious. Terry Manning, a contributing writer, recently shared his views on the current state of diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives in corporate America. He referenced Harvard professor Roland Fryer, who posits that while many successful companies support diversity, it may not be the direct cause of their profitability. Instead, Fryer suggests that companies might embrace diversity as a response to their success rather than as a strategy for achieving it. Manning's critique highlights a nuanced debate. While DEI initiatives are often seen as instrumental in fostering inclusive environments, their effectiveness largely depends on how deeply organizations integrate diverse perspectives into their operations. Notably, research indicates that companies that genuinely adapt to include diverse voices experience enhanced decision-making and increased team satisfaction. However, the superficial implementation of DEI can lead to tokenism, which not only undermines team effectiveness but also risks alienating talented individuals. The intersection of these two narratives, setting boundaries and fostering genuine diversity, paints a complex picture of the modern workplace. As organizations navigate the fine line between demanding excellence and respecting individual limits, the need for authentic dialogue and reform becomes imperative. Berkemper's and Manning's contributions to this discussion emphasize the importance of cultivating environments where employees can thrive without sacrificing their well-being or authenticity. Looking ahead, the corporate landscape will likely continue to evolve, shaped by these critical conversations. As more professionals advocate for their rights to set boundaries and organizations strive for meaningful diversity, the future holds promise for healthier, more productive workplaces. The challenge remains for companies to not only listen to these voices but to act decisively in creating cultures that prioritize both individual well-being and collective success. Elon Musk's ambitious vision for a more efficient government is taking shape through a unique initiative called the Department of Government Efficiency (DOGE), which has attracted a diverse group of individuals from both his established companies and the broader tech landscape. This convergence of talent is not just a showcase of Musk's ability to recruit but a testament to his influence in the tech industry and the evolving relationship between Silicon Valley and Washington, D.C. The DOGE initiative, launched under the Trump administration, aims to streamline government operations, making them more accountable and efficient. However, it also reflects a complex web of connections and a significant tightening of ties between the private sector and federal governance. According to TechCrunch's recent investigation, the staff and advisors connected to DOGE represent a mix of seasoned veterans from Musk's companies such as Tesla and SpaceX, and fresh faces eager to engage in public service. Musk himself acts as the lead of DOGE, described as an unpaid special government employee. His role highlights a duality where he seeks to reshape government operations while simultaneously benefiting from substantial government contracts across various sectors, including over $20 billion from NASA and the Department of Defense. This relationship raises questions about the potential for conflicts of interest, particularly as Musk has called for the elimination of certain government agencies. Among the notable figures within DOGE is Steve Davis, a longtime confidant of Musk. Having started at SpaceX in its early days, Davis has since been tasked with overseeing ambitious projects like the Boring Company and now plays a critical role in DOGE's mission. His reputation as a savvy negotiator and an aggressive operator positions him as a key player in the effort to reduce government headcount, a goal Musk has openly discussed. Other prominent members of the DOGE team include Nicole Hollander, a pivotal figure in the chaotic transition at Twitter, and Brian Geld, a SpaceX veteran now advising the Office of Personnel Management. Their experiences and connections reflect a shared ethos of efficiency and disruption which has become synonymous with Musk's ventures. As Geld noted in a 2014 Reddit AMA, SpaceX employees are encouraged to think beyond conventional limits, a philosophy that seems to permeate DOGE's approach as well. The initiative has not been without its challenges and controversies. Reports of staff cuts at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency (CISA) raise concerns about the implications for national security, while the extensive reach of DOGE staff into various government agencies has sparked legal scrutiny. A lawsuit has been filed by union representatives highlighting the questionable hiring practices and the rapid integration of DOGE personnel into established federal roles. Moreover, the White House has defended DOGE's operations, emphasizing compliance with federal laws and the legitimacy of the staff's roles within government agencies. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt reiterated that DOGE is fulfilling President Trump's commitment to enhance government efficiency, suggesting that the initiative has broad support among its proponents. As the landscape of government service evolves under the influence of tech giants like Musk, the implications for both public policy and private enterprise are profound. The blending of these worlds raises critical questions about the future of governance, the role of technology in public service, and the ethical considerations of such close collaborations. Looking ahead, the trajectory of DOGE and its personnel will likely continue to attract scrutiny as it expands its reach and influence. The ongoing developments within the initiative could serve as a harbinger for how technology and governance might evolve together in the coming years, potentially redefining not only how government operates but also how tech companies engage with public institutions. In a significant move for the global discourse on democracy and governance, the organization Democracy for the Arab World, now DAWN, recently welcomed three prominent scholars as non-resident fellows: Assil Rad Sean Yam and Mira Al Hussein. This announcement, made on March 12, 2025, marks a strategic step by DAWN to amplify voices that advocate for democratic principles and human rights in the Middle East and North Africa MENA region. Assil Rad, known for her research on U.S. foreign policy and its implications on Arab democracies, expressed her enthusiasm about joining DAWN. Democracy is not just a political system, it's a collective aspiration for dignity and justice, she stated, outlining her commitment to fostering dialogues that challenge authoritarian practices in the region. Sean Yam, an expert on political change in the MENA region, emphasized the necessity of grassroots movements in achieving sustainable democracy. He remarked, "Our work at DAWN will focus on empowering local voices that have often been silenced in the political process." Mira Al Hussein, a rising voice in the field of gender studies and human rights, added her perspective on the intersectionality of democracy and gender equality. "A truly democratic society is one where women's rights are upheld and integrated into the fabric of political life," she said, highlighting the importance of inclusive policies in democratic frameworks. These appointments come at a time when the MENA region faces complex challenges, including political instability, economic crises, and social unrest. DAWN's mission is to address these issues by promoting democratic reforms and accountability, positioning these new fellows to play a pivotal role in the organization's efforts. Meanwhile, in the United States, Missouri's Attorney General Andrew Bailey has stirred controversy by threatening to seize Chinese assets nationwide in a $24.5 billion lawsuit linked to the COVID-19 pandemic. This unprecedented legal action seeks to hold China accountable for allegations of hoarding personal protective equipment during the early phases of the pandemic, which Missouri claims caused substantial harm to its residents. Bailey's announcement was met with skepticism from legal experts, with some questioning the feasibility of such a bold claim. "Good luck with that," quipped Duncan Levin, a former federal prosecutor, indicating that the complexities of international law and the jurisdictional challenges involved could thwart Missouri's ambitions. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs dismissed the lawsuit as absurd and reiterated that its actions during the pandemic are not subject to U.S. court jurisdiction. The lawsuit's trajectory is emblematic of rising tensions between the U.S. and China, particularly in the wake of the pandemic. With Bailey's office asserting its intent to identify and potentially seize Chinese-owned farmland and assets, the implications of this legal battle extend beyond Missouri, potentially straining diplomatic relations further. As these two stories unfold, the pursuit of democracy in the MENA region through the efforts of DAWN and the contentious legal action by Missouri against China, one thing remains clear: the global landscape is in a state of flux. The actions taken today will undoubtedly shape the political and economic environments of tomorrow, and observers will be keenly watching how these narratives develop in the coming months. The efforts of scholars like Rad Yaman al-Hussein may provide critical insights into the future of democracy in the MENA region, while Missouri's legal maneuvers could set significant precedents in U.S.-China relations. In the ever-evolving landscape of scientific inquiry, the integrity of research is paramount. Recently, the field of psychology witnessed a remarkable turn of events as 5 articles authored by Nicholas Gagin were retracted by the journal Perceptual and Motor Skills. This action, announced on February 25, 2025, has sparked widespread discussion regarding the reliability of psychological studies and the implications of flawed research for both the scientific community and the public. Gagin, a researcher at the University of Southern Brittany in France, had garnered attention for his controversial studies, including one in 2007 that claimed women with larger bust sizes were more likely to be picked up while hitchhiking. His work, characterized by a prolific output, often exceeding 10 sole-authored empirical articles annually, came under scrutiny from fellow researchers. The critical investigation began in earnest around 2017 when researchers Nick Brown and James Heathers raised questions about the feasibility of Gagin's findings, particularly given the breadth of his claims. The retraction notice itself, which many are calling one of the most spectacular in the history of academic publishing, cited serious concerns about the validity of the studies. It stated there was a low confidence in the implementation of the study designs and noted that much of the data presented in the articles were either implausible or incorrectly analyzed. The editors of the journal indicated that Gagin had failed to respond to inquiries regarding these issues, leaving them with little recourse but to retract the work. As the dust settled on this announcement, the academic community reflected on the broader implications of such retractions. Heathers aptly summarized the situation, suggesting that unreliable studies can linger unchallenged for years before the consequences catch up with the researchers involved. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of transparency and rigor in scientific research, particularly in fields that directly influence societal views and behaviors. In a parallel development within the realm of quantum computing, D-Wave Systems has faced challenges to its claims of achieving quantum supremacy. The company recently published a paper asserting that its advantage quantum computers could solve complex problems beyond the capabilities of classical machines. However, 2 separate studies have since emerged demonstrating that similar calculations can be accomplished on conventional laptops, casting doubt on D-Wave's assertions. Dreisel's and his colleagues at New York University utilized tensor networks to tackle problems that D-Wave claimed would require impractical computational resources on classical systems. Their findings suggest that traditional computers can handle these tasks more efficiently than previously thought. Andrew King from D-Wave responded by asserting that the studies did not encompass the full range of problems tackled by their quantum systems, thus challenging the validity of the comparisons made. This back-and-forth highlights the ongoing debate within the field of quantum computing regarding the capabilities and limitations of quantum versus classical machines. While D-Wave maintains its claim of quantum supremacy, the emergence of competing research suggests that the line between classical and quantum computing may not be as clear-cut as once believed. Meanwhile, in the world of astronomy, researchers have made a groundbreaking discovery with the identification of the smallest galaxy ever observed, Andromeda XXXV. Located approximately 3 million light-years from Earth, this galaxy challenges existing theories about cosmic evolution. Its existence raises fundamental questions about star formation and survival in the harsh conditions of the early universe, where many small galaxies are thought to have been fried by intense heat. Eric Bell, a member of the research team, likened the discovery of Andromeda XXXV to finding a fully functional human being the size of a grain of rice, emphasizing the galaxy's remarkable resilience. This discovery not only enriches our understanding of galactic formation but also invites further exploration into the factors contributing to the longevity of such diminutive celestial bodies. Finally, the potential of uncrewed surface vehicles (USVs) in ocean science is gaining momentum as researchers advocate for a global network to monitor oceanic health and climate interactions. These autonomous vessels can traverse vast ocean expanses collecting data that has traditionally been difficult to obtain. Experts like Ruth Patterson are calling for standardized practices to ensure the reliability and utility of data gathered by USVs, which could revolutionize our understanding of ocean dynamics. As we look ahead, these developments in psychology, quantum computing, astronomy, and ocean science underscore the dynamic nature of research. They remind us of the critical importance of rigorous methodologies, peer scrutiny, and an unyielding commitment to uncovering truth in the pursuit of knowledge. Future research will undoubtedly continue to challenge established norms, inviting new questions and discoveries across these diverse fields.